Okay, so originally when I made the video on Gabrielle Giffords, I thought I was only going to do one video, but I've been watching a lot of the media coverage of it, and I have to make another video. I absolutely have to make another video. First off is, like I said, I've been watching a lot of the media coverage on this, and I have to call them out. I absolutely have to call them out. I just heard official commentators from CNN claim that this wasn't a politically motivated shooting. They said this with a straight face. And I'm going to tell you who these dumbasses are right now. Don Lemon, David Gergen, John King, and some person whose name I can't remember, but basically everybody who has offered their opinion on it has said, oh no, this isn't a politically motivated shooting. When in history has someone planned a shooting with the words assassinate and the person they were about to shoot and it being a public official? Since when is that not political? I can't name a single instance that that is not a political move. It's once again the media trying to cover the ass of conservatives because really conservative leaders have really blown their shit this time. And another thing is, Giffords actually herself warned about this. I'm going to read you a quote from Gabrielle Giffords on March 25th, 2010. The thing is, the way that she has it depicted, the crosshairs of a gun sight over our district, when people do that, they've got to realize that there's consequences for that action. That's a quote from Giffords. She might as well finish, consequences like me getting shot. She warned about this. And her brother-in-law says that irresponsible, quote-unquote, irresponsible words are to blame. But, you know, if you turn on the mainstream media, they want to act like somehow this guy being crazy means it can't be political. Newsflash. You can be crazy and you can commit a political shooting. And most likely those two things are going to go hand in hand. I don't think you're mentally fit if you commit a political assassination. You can be both. It's not squaring a circle. And, you know, Palin has responded to all these accusations, and she's given the shittiest, most cover-my-ass explanation that I've probably ever heard. She didn't even give it. She sent one of her spokespeople out to do it. She had her spokesperson say that, oh no, those weren't crosshairs, those were just surveyor symbols. Yeah, because you're thinking of building houses on all those places that you put in gun crosshairs. And not only this, you can prove that she's lying about this through her own words. Because after the election, she said 18 of those 20 bullseye symbols, the Congress people went down. She tweeted that. And accompanying her original tweet with that image was, don't retreat, reload. Can you reload surveyor symbols? I mean, she's obviously trying to cover her ass, and it's really not doing her any favors, but the media once again refuses to call this for what it is, a big load of bullshit. And, you know, another thing I keep on hearing is, this guy was definitely a liberal because he had Mein Kampf and the Communist Manifesto in his favorite books. Okay, maybe it's because you're uneducated if you make that stupid fucking remark, but Mein Kampf is one of the most conservative books of all time. It's basically saying, we don't want anybody who's different than us entering our country. We don't want those immigrants. It talks about nationalism, how Germany is the best fucking country on earth, and how we should be proud to be Germans. Now, what the fuck does that sound like? Does that sound like American Republicans, perhaps? It glorifies the military? I wonder what political party does that in the United States. Both of them do, to be sure, but I wonder what one really does it. It's the Republicans. So don't give me any bullshit about Mein Kampf being somehow a liberal book. I mean, that just shows how uneducated people are. They hear the words National Socialist, and that being the party that Hitler was a part of, and they completely mischaracterize it. Hitler was a huge capitalist because he realized he needed the business leaders to get behind him in order to be a dictator. It's ridiculous. And then the Communist Manifesto is on there, but people also fail to realize that Animal Farm is on there. Animal Farm is a critique of communism, widely regarded as the best critique of communism. And here's another thing. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to move my camera here. Way over there, all those books, kind of upper right-hand corner. You see those books? George H.W. Bush's autobiography, Ronald Reagan's autobiography, Sarah Palin's autobiography. I have more books by conservatives than I do by liberals. Does that make me a Republican? No, I'm so liberal that I think the Democrats are too conservative. You can't draw conclusions from someone's reading list. For all we know, could be opposition research, which is why I personally read books like that. So, if anybody tries to bring that shit up again, I'm just going to smack somebody. I'm going to. And another thing is, they've tried to link this guy being a liberal, not only through those two books, but they try and claim they drudge up somebody from his high school class that said he leaned to the left, who never talked to him, and that was 5 years ago. Well, guess what? The Arizona Secretary of State website shows that he's a registered Republican. Big fucking surprise. But the media is so complicit in this. They are so, they're just covering the ass of conservatives at this point. Fox News, I mean, nobody should be surprised with that. Literally 24/7, all their commentators are just completely blasting people like me who dare to say that maybe using gun rhetoric and having crosshairs and having a shooting rally if you're Giffords' Republican opponent, somehow that might have to do with the fact that she got fucking shot. But Fox attacks people like this, saying, oh, they're trying to politicize this tragedy. Oy vey, oy vey. And then they showed the memorial in Tucson, and once somebody mentioned Palin, they cut him off just like that. They are so trying to cover their asses, and it's not just them. Look at the front page of the Drudge Report. It's all trying to link this guy to Democrats, all trying to blame Democrats. I mean, they're obviously trying to cover their ass, and they're looking like a pretty fucking guilty party. Palin scrubbed the internet of all her references to that the bullseyes and Don't Retreat, Reload. And Roger Ailes, the president of Fox News, told all of his commentators to tone it down. Gee, they're not acting guilty at all. I mean, if that's not acting guilty, I don't know what is. I really don't. And it's not only Fox News and CNN. The Huffington Post is even in on this. You know, people like to say that the Huffington Post is liberal, but they fail to mention that Andrew Breitbart was the other person who founded it besides Arianna Huffington. For people who don't know who Breitbart is, look him up because he's one of the most conservative assholes around. But anyway, what Huffington Post did was Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks posted something kind of similar to my last video, saying, like, you gotta be mental to believe that this didn't have to do with incendiary rhetoric. And Huffington Post decided that they were going to pull that blog. Big fucking surprise. Okay, so just let me know what you think about it. Leave me a comment, video response, anything you want. I just had to make another video on this because this is just really pissing me off.